Abyssal Ascension, Chronophos Repose, Celestial Incarnate, Benevolent Grace, Frostfire Illumination, Thawing Triumph. Jinhsi, Magistrate of Jinzhou, gently brightens the hopes of her people like rays of winter sunlight. As the revered Sentinel's appointed resonator, she displays humility and wholeheartedly commits herself to guiding her people towards a brilliant future. Her leadership. Jinzhou, on the borderlands, often conjures images of desolate lands and barren mountain ranges. Once a merchant was tasked with a journey to Jinzhou. "I'm not well," he promptly refused. "How would die halfway if I were to go there?" His colleague smiled and responded, "You'll know what it's like once you see for yourself." Reluctantly, the duo set out for Jinzhou. They traversed countless barren wastelands and perilous jungles until they finally reached a picturesque place embraced by lush mountains and clear water. Standing at the end of the forest path were towering city gates. Soldiers on guard gave them a friendly welcome, granting them entry after a quick check of their papers. A lively tapestry of life unfurled before them as they ventured into Jinzhou. Contrary to expectations, the city was a bustling hub of activity and lacked any trace of desolation or bleakness. Amidst well-designed buildings and serene ponds teeming with colorful carp, they discovered a captivating scenery that rivaled even the lush landscapes of inland regions. Lost in the lively atmosphere, they sampled Kung Fu tea at Liu Xian Tea House, savored the specialty dish at Panwa's restaurant, and immersed themselves in the shows at Jinzhou Theater. With each experience, their weariness faded away, replaced by the invigorating energy of Jinzhou and the warm hospitality of its people. "Unbelievable! Who would have thought a borderland city could thrive like this? It feels like a utopia! It must have taken a lot of hard work to create such beautiful structures in here." Our magistrate always preached the value of hard work. No matter your circumstances, with determination and effort, you can achieve your dreams. So, despite the barren mountains and tacit discords, we built our homes and savored the good times before hardship struck. It's amazing how you all pulled it off. It couldn't have been easy, but each of you made it happen. Truly impressive. Well, it's not as tough as it seems with our great magistrate leading the way. We just follow her lead, and she takes care of everything here. Yeah, she seems really wise and capable. I bet she has years of experience too. Nope, she's still young, only in her teens. Teens? Her wish-granting magic. When Jinhsi became the Jinzhou magistrate, she was young and inexperienced. The people of Jinzhou placed their trust in her decisions, but she knew it was not her alone, but also her role as the Sentinel's resonator that earned their faith. Taking on this great responsibility, Jinhsi felt determined to guide Jinzhou towards a better future, despite her initial challenges. She also understood that trust had to be earned through hard work and dedication. Despite the skepticism she encountered, Jinhsi was more troubled by the wariness etched on the faces of the people, a wariness born of life's hardships and a lack of hope. She realized that beyond addressing tangible issues like material shortages and external threats, her true challenge was to restore the hope and confidence of the people of Jinzhou who had been worn down by life. In such times, what the people needed most was a reliable source of hope, regardless of who provided it. During a reconstruction event, the young magistrate performed a miracle known as Sentinel Granting Wishes. The remote village had been plagued by weather anomalies for years. Even though the task discords had stopped, villagers still suffered from extreme cold and gloom. Jinhsi asked the villagers to voice their wishes. At first, silence hung heavy until a sneeze broke the silence. A timid voice then followed. "It's so cold. I wish it was a bit warmer here." Standing amidst the crowd, Jinhsi held a luong scale, closed her eyes, and nodded. "I will convey your wish to the sentinel." Right after her words fell, luong horns sprouted from her head, and a sentinel-like light pierced the dark clouds and the snow on the ground. Just in an instant, the ice thawed, and the lands once again sprang to life. Witnessing the spectacle, the crowd exclaimed, "The sentinel! The sentinel has shown itself!" The people observed the luong-shaped light in awe, with hope rekindling in their eyes. News of the young magistrate's wish-granting ability spread rapidly in Jinzhou. Wishing became a popular custom, with people submitting their desires to her at City Hall. She meticulously examined each one and devised effective strategies to fulfill them. "Dear Magistrate, I'm worried about task discords infiltrating our city." Taochi, director of the defense division, was then tasked with fortifying the city defense walls. "Dear Magistrate, I pray for my father's safe return and an end to the war." Jinhsi prioritized research on task site weaponry and material engineering, pushing for new weapons against discords and faster upgrades for defense. "Dear Magistrate, the exiles have been spotted in the city. I'm scared." Jinhsi expanded patrol stations, added patrollers in the city, and assigned more Midnight Rangers to guard outside. Within 3 years, the city defense walls were renewed, new weapons were created, and tacit discords were repelled. Jinzhou finally ushered in peace and prosperity. As time passed, people came to realize that the so-called Sentinel granting wishes was just a white lie from the young magistrate. However, they also discovered her true dedication to addressing their problems and concerns, always being on the spot at lightning speed. The lights in City Hall never went out, even on holidays. Jinhsi worked tirelessly until midnight, developing feasible plans to fulfill people's wishes. And eventually, they came to understand that she possessed an incredible power. Without a Luong scale, she could summon a dazzling light that could pierce through ice and turn the tide of time. Today, making wishes has become a habit for Jinzhou people, an unspoken agreement between them and their young magistrate. "Dear Magistrate, I hope you can take some time to relax and come watch our latest show." This was the last wish of the year. Smiling, Jinhsi closed the file in her hands, leaned against the window in her office, and listened to the melodious singing from Jinzhou Theater, where the new hero play, Luong Maiden and Wishes, was being performed. Her kindness. In any situation, Jinhsi always wears a gentle smile, reassuring those around her. "There's still much to do, but rest assured, I'm here to guide you through it." Back then, tacit discords ravaged the lands and warriors fought for every piece of land. People dreaded the thought of bidding farewell to loved ones heading to the front lines, uncertain if those farewells might be forever. After witnessing the despair and anguish in her people's eyes, the newly appointed young magistrate couldn't bear to add to their sorrow. She understood that revealing her own distress would only weaken the hard-earned confidence and hope they held on to amidst adversity. Thus, she never let a hint of despair show, always exuding composure. Despite her unwavering smile and gentle demeanor, Jinhsi was aware that without tangible results, her actions may be perceived as insincere or ignorant of the people's suffering. To counter this, she resolved to be a proactive magistrate, tirelessly working to address their concerns and guide them towards a life of happiness and peace. While the Midnight Rangers valiantly fought to protect Jinzhou, a different yet equally difficult battle raged within the city walls. Families of soldiers grappled with anxiety. Their worries for their loved ones' safety had disrupted their daily lives. Unfortunately, interference in the tacit fields hindered real-time communication with soldiers. In response, Jinhsi implemented a speedy delivery service in collaboration with the Ministry of Development and Lolo Logistics. Free letters were quickly delivered to families of soldiers thanks to Lolo Logistics, while the Ministry of Development built shortcuts for efficient transport. This helped ease the worries of families wanting updates on their loved ones serving in the military. Another pressing issue Jinhsi tackled was comforting families who lost loved ones in battle. She worked with the Ministry of War and Ministry of Development to create a thorough plan. The city honored fallen soldiers by increasing compensation for their families and building a wall of remembrance in Nell Square. Tablets bearing their names were made from the finest ore, able to withstand the elements and provide solace for centuries to come. The Midnight Rangers may not have fought for honor, but their sacrifices deserve to be remembered. With the completion of Nell Square, people had another place to commemorate and seek comfort in their loss. In all these efforts to console and address the aftermath, Jinhsi always led by example. Whenever people saw her gentle smile, they knew she would introduce policies that cheered them up just like her smile did. Such warmth served as a balm for the wounds of war, helping the people of Jinzhou endure difficult times. Her rare anger. Jinhsi possesses an exceptionally good temper. No matter the circumstances, she always maintains a graceful and gentle smile, and hardly anyone has ever seen her get angry. "Does our magistrate even know how to get angry? She's always so calm, no matter what." "Seriously, I've wondered about that too. How would she look when mad?" "I've seen it," replied she, a typically solitary miner who stays focused on his work. It was an exceptionally bitter winter. The contractor, citing supposed excessive equipment usage, claimed a hefty sum from a mining project, leaving the miners with nothing to show for their labor. Fresh from the aftermath of battles, chaos reigned. With the surge in demand for civil construction, the need for ores skyrocketed. However, the Ministry of Development's exploration equipment fell short, forcing them to resort to renting privately owned tools. However, the contractor proved to be a profiteer, reneging on payment when the time came. What's worse, as the president of the Chamber of Commerce, he wielded a monopoly over exploration equipment in the market and paid little heed to the officials. After a year of hard work, she had been counting on the payment to spend a joyous new year with his family. But now, that simple wish seemed out of reach. Looking at his calloused, weathered hands, she recalled the words of his colleague, Debiao. "Honesty won't fill our pockets. Let's take action and get back what we deserve, our own hard-earned cash." Under the cover of night, she and his fellow workers sneaked into the merchant's mansion. Pressing his ear against the door, she listened intently for any signs of movement, ready to seize the chance to burst in. "Mr. Zhu, I'm here to deliver some news." A young girl's voice sounded from within, gentle yet tinged with an unsettling chill. "You have been removed from the Chamber of Commerce, and your business license has been revoked. Henceforth, you are forbidden from engaging in any commercial activities in Jinzhou."
Huh, that's funny. We're in Jinzhou, a city renowned for its adherence to the law. Since you're new to your role, dear magistrate, I'll turn a blind eye to your ignorance. Let me tell you, expelling a Chamber of Commerce president takes a minimum of 2 weeks here. And as for revoking my business license, I demand evidence. No evidence, no revocation. Simple as that.
"Since you mentioned the law, then let's discuss it. Per Article 180 of the Jinzhou Commercial Law, expelling a Chamber of Commerce president requires over half of its members' signatures, as well as those of the Minister of Commerce and Director of Ministry of Development. Obtaining approval from the magistrate can be time-consuming. Therefore, I am here to inform you personally in order to expedite the return of wages for our workers. Regarding the evidence you requested, the patrol station has already collected and submitted it to the Decree Council. I am always prepared. As I leave, know that your monopoly on exploration gear has ended. The Ministry of Development expedited production and new equipment arrived today. Your monopoly was never going to last." Lost in the noise inside, she missed the rest of the conversation. It seemed like someone was defending themselves, but she knew it would be useless against overwhelming proof and careful planning. Soon, they were notified of their rightful payment on their terminals. Finally, they could ring in the new year with happiness. Following that, such occurrences ceased as Magistrate Jinhsi enacted new laws prohibiting monopolies and amended payment settlement procedures. Workers' wages are settled before contractors receive their payments. As winter faded into spring, a new era dawned.
Come on, spill the beans. What was the magistrate like when she got angry?
Well, she wasn't scary. She looked very dependable, reassuring. What? Her long-awaited guest. Many praise young Magistrate Jinhsi for her remarkable intelligence and perceptive nature. There seems to be no realm of knowledge beyond her grasp, nor any challenge she cannot surmount. Since taking office, she has deftly navigated Jinzhou's complex affairs, implementing policies that have brought about peace and prosperity for its people, ushering in an era of peace and prosperity. As the magistrate of Jinzhou, Jinhsi's responsibilities extend from matters of great importance, such as military and political affairs, to seemingly minor issues. However, she believes that even the smallest details can greatly impact people's lives. This is the standard she holds herself to. Though well-informed, Jinhsi still faced mysteries unknown to her. Lately, a person of great significance to her city had arrived, surrounded by elusive secrets. This only piqued her curiosity and concern for them even more. According to historical records, a legendary hero in Jinzhou was said to possess the power of absorbing task discords with their bare hands. This person left an unforgettable mark on the history of Jinzhou and even the entire Huanglong region. Now, a new individual with unique abilities was about to appear in the world. Jinhsi suspected they may be connected to the fabled hero. Knowing the significance of this distinguished guest, Jinhsi planned a careful welcome, fully aware that they would be drawn into conflicts and conspiracies. Thus, she crafted a meticulous plan to greet them in her own distinctive manner. She recorded a message to be broadcast throughout the region, extending a warm welcome to all visitors to Jinzhou, ensuring they felt warmly welcomed. She then purposefully left tokens to find her awaited guest and to uncover hidden threats in the shadows. Worried about her distinguished guest's safety, she sent her personal bodyguard to protect them in secret. Mobilizing all available resources, she provided just the right amount of assistance to help her guest unravel one puzzle after another. Jinhsi remained determined to return to Jinzhou in time for their 3-day agreement, despite hardships. Once a serene haven, Mount Firmament bristled with instability, its tranquility disrupted by the Sentinel's peril and minions of the Fraxidus. Driven by a desire for Jinzhou's peace, the young magistrate ventured alone into the fray, confronting various difficulties while seeking information about the Sentinel. Emerging unharmed from such adversity was challenging for even someone as strong-willed as Jinhsi, but whenever she felt discouraged or lost in self-doubt, she would remember a certain person. Upon waking up, that individual swiftly grasped the intricate circumstances, exhibiting patience as they awaited her decision. Jinhsi was sure they would lead Jinzhou to a brighter future together. On the city hall's terrace, Jinhsi, the returning magistrate, gazed at the esteemed guest with relief and joy. With a nod of greeting, she uttered the words she had rehearsed 1,000 times over. "It's been 3 days. We've both made it on time. Allow me to formally introduce myself. I am Jinhsi. It brings me great joy to see you, Rover." Luong Bun. A plate of luong buns made by Jinhsi herself, each adopting a pink hue and a sprinkling of osmanthus powdered sugar. Each luong bun has a unique filling: custard, lotus seed paste, or sweet bean paste. Our honored guest awaits just beyond the threshold. I wonder which flavor will tick the box. To-do list. The magistrate is constantly overwhelmed with work. From military matters to city defense and civilian security issues, she must handle everything. The city hall is always filled with pending documents, but they alone cannot aid her in making accurate judgments. Jinhsi prefers to be present and listen to the people's demands firsthand. To make this possible, she asked Huashu Academy to create an electronic to-do list that she could access on the go, allowing her to review documents while attending to other tasks. Luong Scale. Jinhsi had frequent nightmares in her childhood. Once, she was drowning in her dream, caught in the surf and about to sink to the bottom of the ocean. A piece of driftwood floated by and she clung to it, returning to shore against the tide. When she woke up, what she was holding in her hand was a piece of scale. If you look closely, you'll notice that the scale looks similar to the ones on the Sentinel's body.
Forte examination report. Residence ability, Thawbone renewal. Residence evaluation report, evaluation basis, Residence assessment 2100-G. The exact timing of Resident Jinhsi's awakening remains unclear. Signs of her awakening manifested early in her life, establishing a profound resonance with Sentinel Jue. Positioned at the midpoint of her back, Jinhsi's task mark is a distinct feature. When activating her resonance ability, crystalline formations resembling luong horns materialize above her head. Through her unique gift, Jinhsi can manipulate light to create holographic projections mirroring Sentinel Jue, showcasing power comparable to the Sentinel's own abilities. Observational data points towards the exceptional growth capacity of subject's resonance ability. The pinnacle of this ability hints at the remarkable prospect of time shifting. Detailed analysis of Jinhsi's resonance spectrum pattern has unveiled a striking resemblance to that of Sentinel Jue. Rigorous testing has uncovered strong Sentinel reactions. Nevertheless, the precise trigger behind Jinhsi's awakening remains enigmatic due to the Sentinel's special position. Analysis of test samples revealed a non-convergent Rabel's curve with a noticeable periodic waveform, which classifies Jinhsi as a congenital resonator. Overclock diagnostic report. Resident Jinhsi's waveform graph displays elliptical fluctuations. The pattern of time domain is stable with no abnormal waveform. Resonant criticality, extremely high. Resonant Jinhsi's frequency displays high stability. It is almost certain that she bears no risk of overclocking. Resonant Jinhsi has no past record of overclocking. Routine examinations are recommended, while psychological counseling is currently deemed unnecessary.